So today we're going to tie a imitation maggot. So really simple to tie, only a few materials needed. I think there's 3 materials in total that you need to tie this. It's all coloured in with markers. So it means once you've learnt how to tie using the skills needed, you can pretty much tie it in a variety of different colours. I do some yellows, I do some green ones, the main one being the red maggot. So yeah, let's get right into it. So we've got grab Puppa size 12. And the first thing we're going to do is come in with some Veniard's 0.6 round lead wire. So this is just going to create a bit of weight. So we're going to do 14 turns of this. And then push them together. Then if you hold your wire at the back here and give it a wiggle, it'll cut it off nice and neat for you. And then you can nip this tight. So you want to position your wire just on that bend, like that. And then the next thing we're going to come in with is our uni stretch in white. So I'm going to put a thread down just in front, and then pull a tag end to the back, a few wraps down loosely, and then another thread down at the base to stop that lead moving around and trim a tag out. So then we're going to just counter spin a thread clockwise to flatten it. Keep spinning this because you want this underbody to be really neat, because the neater your underbody is, the neater the finished fly will be. We're going to come right down to the eye and back up. And this can take a little bit of time. And because we're colouring it, we need a complete base of this. And then you want it going slim to thick and back down to slim, but your head is always still a little bit thicker than the tail. So get this nice and smooth. It's worth taking your time here. Just about there now. So then we can tie this off. And then cut that out. So my vice has just come loose, so just tighten it back up. So then the next thing we're going to come in with is some GSP. So get this tied right in, nice and tight. And we're going to take that down to the tail and tie in our next material. So this is virtual nymph skin. So this is in translucent, and what we're going to do is we're going to cut a little point into the tip of it, like so, and we're going to tie this in with the slope pointing down, and then tie that right into the base, and then come back up with a GSP. Now I've noticed it's got a bit of a bump here, so I'm just going to try and just even that out a little bit. And yeah, so that should do us. And then I'm going to put a half hitch in this. And then Gonna hang that out of the way, and then we're going to come in with a red marker and colour this whole underbody in. So that's that bit done, and then we're going to put those feed sacks in. So those are just done with a black marker. So one at the eye and one at the back, like that. Not too big. Need a steady hand. So now we're going to take a nymph skin, we're going to stretch it. So you want to start off with some tight stretches and overlap these turns. And as you come up the body, you just start loosening off a bit. It'll take a few flies to get used to the tension that you need. Because when you loosen off, it'll go a little bit more bulbous and create that sort of taper that we want. And then you'll see a ridge develop here, and you're just overlapping on that. And then as we get closer to the eye, we then start putting more tension on so that it'll taper back down. One more should do us that. And then get your thread. So then you need to put some real tight turns on this, because the last thing you want is for this to back off on you. And when you stretch this, sometimes if you've not tied it in enough, it can slip. So you've got to be really careful doing this bit. So I'm going to put another whip finish over the back there, like that. And then we're going to stretch our nymph skin. And trim that out. And then we're going to colour a thread, because we want to create a little black head here. So this also takes a little bit of time, because we want to build a good head up here and hide all this excess nymph skin that we've cut, so we get a neat head. Right, so that should do us, and then we can whip finish that off. Right, and sometimes you might see that it's just got a little bit of the white thread, so you can just touch that up a little bit to make it darker. Just be careful not to go onto the skin. So then, just going to reposition a fly. just to help with the UV that we're going to put on. So this is the super thin. I use the super thin on this bit because it'll help keep the segmentation that we've created. So you just got to be careful because it's like water, this, but it's great for this sort of fly. So then get a needle and just work this around, making sure it's all covered. Right the way around. And if you've got a bit too much on, just dab your finger and you can take that off. And then we're going to zap it with our UV light. Just cure that. Then we're not quite finished because we're just going to neaten that head up now with some thicker UV. So I'm going to take the UV thin and we only need a tiny bit of this. I've come in with a thinner needle so I've got a bit more precision as I'm dabbing this onto that head. So you just want to be careful not to crowd that eye. I think we're just about there, just a little bit too much there. Yeah, that's looking nice. Rotate it, and that'll just stop it and get it all nice and neat. Give it a final blast with a UV torch, make sure it's all nicely cured. And that's the fly complete. So thank you for tuning in. Please give us a like and subscribe.